Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day, and kind of have some interesting little things to share with you. We'll give it a minute for people to start popping on, but lots of good things unfolding. Lots of good things unfolding. Let's start with breath, as always. Good morning, Nancy. You're the first one popping on today. Welcome, welcome. Let us start with the breath. And I think a little tapping right here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, CJ. It was good to see you at yoga yesterday. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, Joe Neal. Welcome, welcome. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just settling in, wiggling a little bit, listen to the creaks and groans. Yep, getting everything moving today. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. So, I wanted to start by letting you know that Janelle and I filmed another version of Common Ground Conversations yesterday, I believe, and then we sent it off to Morgan, our amazing VA. If any of you ever need virtual assistant help, reach out to Janelle or to me, and we'll give you Morgan's information because she is amazing. She takes whatever we give her and turns it into this very polished product, which couldn't be happier with the work she does for us. So we did our video, and it actually was, I would say, I don't know what you would say, Janelle, but I would say it was the first one where we actually took a current event, relatively current event, yes, and we're on opposite sides of the perspective of it and practiced our braver angel skills of LAP, listening, acknowledging, pivoting, and perspective. So it's a great demonstration of how to use those tools, especially if you have people in your life where you really are having a hard time having some conversations about things because you're not on the same page with it. Good morning, Gwen. Welcome, welcome. So that one I think will be coming out maybe next Monday. So keep an eye open for it because I'm proud of us. We did well with it. Yes, it was one of those topics, and I think we practiced our skills well, and I'm very excited that that one will probably launch next Monday. Good morning, Beth. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So now I got to tell you a funny little story about our card deck for today and the particular card that we ended up with. Again, it's one of those opportunities where the universe shows me my bias. Good morning, Cheryl. Glad you're here. Welcome. So it's the soul coaching deck from Denise Lynn, what your soul wants you to know. And so I'm muscle testing as I usually do, and this is the particular card deck that it's the universe selected for us today. And I pulled the cards out, looked at the bottom card, and thought, ooh, I hope we don't get that one. It's so narrow. That was the word I thought in my head, narrow. What it was I was basing the image, the word, and the connotations on the image. And when I read it, it had nothing to do with that. Anywho, back up a bit. So shuffling the cards, one of them jumps out, and it's miracles. And I thought, that's a lovely card for right now. That will instill some hope in people. It will be helpful. And then I just was getting this feeling of, nope, that's not the card. And I'm like, really? So I muscle tested, and nope, it wasn't the card. Put it back in the deck, did some more shuffling. Of course, the card that I thought was too narrow is the one that popped up. So that is the card that we have for today. It is commitment. But let me show you the picture. So to me, all I saw there was romantic commitment. And I'm like, there's a whole lot of other kinds of commitment in the world, and why are we just focusing on that one? Being a curmudgeon, basically. The words are, my commitments increase my joy and freedom. My commitments increase my joy and freedom. If one of you want to put that in the feed, that would be fabulous. But let me read you this card because it's not at all narrow. Commitment. Card meaning, this is the time to make the commitment. So stand tall, don't hesitate, and give your word. Keep your promise, and your word becomes law in your universe. Your soul wants you to know, making a commitment is taking a stand. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. Welcome. Making a commitment is taking a stand. It's declaring to yourself and the universe that you're unwilling to settle for less than excellence. It means that you keep your word, especially to yourself. How often do we not keep our word to ourselves? If we did with others what we do with ourselves, nobody trusts us. Nobody. Fear of doing this because you might fail sends a message to your subconscious mind that you are a failure. So we don't want to have fear operating here. Fear needs to go. And with commitments, it's not playing not to lose, it's playing to win. What does winning look like? And winning is not in a competitive sense. It's in meeting the commitments that you've put out there, especially to yourself. Especially to yourself. Of course, there's always the possibility that you might not succeed, at least not temporarily, my addition. But to hesitate because of fear instead of forging forward keeps joy and freedom at bay. So decide now. Take some risks. Be willing to fail. I was working with a client last night on this very thing. It had to do, for her, with worthiness. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. Was she worthy of asking people to do things? Was she worthy of asking people for help? Was she worthy of people being a friend who shows up for her? Interesting to watch her process as she worked her way through to her homework, which is going and asking. And what I set up for her was, this is a skill we learned in Mary Kay. There was a sheet of paper with 100 smiley faces on it, and it was called Go for No. And so we'd go out and ask people, good morning, Bobby, glad you are here, if they would like to host a Mary Kay party. If they said no, we got to cross off a face, put the person's name and a date. Our goal was to get to 100 no's. Why? Because it flips the whole paradigm on its head. You get to the point where when someone says yes, you're almost disappointed because you don't get to cross another face off. But we all know that in the course of all of those no's, there are going to be the yeses. So you're moving your business forward. It's just like someone asking for dates or asking some people to dance. So you're standing around the club and there's the person who goes around to every single and asks if they'll dance. Many times that person hears no, 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 thank you, no, thank whatever. I'm just leaving, whatever. Eventually they get a yes, don't they? It's about being persistent. It's about not taking it personally when there's the no. And for a lot of us, that's hard. We somehow take that to have meaning about us, when really all it means is there's not a fit there. For some reason, whatever it is, there's not a fit there. Let it go. Move on. Let's see here. The most important promises that you make are to yourself. Forgive yourself when you don't honor your word. And then, without shame, recommit yourself with passion and gusto. Affirmation: my commitments increase my joy and freedom. My commitments increase my joy and freedom. How many of us have also had the warped perspective that commitments are a chore, a drudgery, a burden, etc.? This is flipping that whole thing on its head. Again, change of perspective. That seems to be my theme for the week, change of perspective. So how will you change your perspective about commitments to yourself? How will you no longer view them as, meh, they're breakable. I can keep them, I can break them, doesn't really matter. No. If you've made a commitment to yourself, I want you to diligently follow through. Keep that commitment and regroup. So my current commitment that I've been working on is increasing the amount of water that I drink. For years, I did a great job of drinking a lot of water. This last couple of years, it's really tanked. So I made a commitment at the beginning of the year that I was going to be drinking more water and that I was going to track it. And I have the little sheet sitting right here. And I will say I've done a good job of tracking it. I haven't done a good job of increasing it. There are days where I'm so busy, I just am not attending to that. So I need to, let me look here, use their words, forgive myself when I didn't honor that commitment I've made to myself, redouble my efforts, go back at it. No shame or guilt about that. That's not helpful. We're human beings. Sometimes we fall short. Pick ourselves up and move forward again. I was reading in the one of the books that I'm working my way through, because of course you got to have 2 or 3 going at once, right? And it's The Writing Diet by Julia Cameron. And one of her things in there is about tracking and being attentive to the tracking through your writing, And I've been kind of lax on that also. But again, the beating yourself up about it does not help. She talks about it in terms of relapses. When we have a relapse with anything we're trying to address, rather than viewing that as a failure, and especially if it happens early in the day. Let's say you have a donut for breakfast, and you're like, well, I've ruined the day. I may as well just binge like a maniac all day long. No, 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 no. I had a donut. It's a relapse. It's my opportunity to take a look at what wasn't in place to help me avoid that relapse. Good morning, Megan. Glad you're here. And I don't care if it's relapse with alcohol, drugs, bad relationships, excessive shopping, doom scrolling, whatever it is you've promised yourself you're going to heal. When you have a relapse, frame it as it's merely information. It's merely grist for your mill. It helps you understand, again, that something wasn't in place the way it needed to be to help prevent that relapse from happening. Learn from it, pivot a bit, and move forward. Move forward. It is not the death sentence. It's merely a slip. Okay? So, went a little far afield from the commitment thing, but I think you get the gist, right? So, what kind of commitment are you going to make to yourself? And my thing is, don't make 10 commitments at once. You can't keep track of all that unless you've got a spreadsheet. And if you're a spreadsheet kind of person and you can, more power to you. Most of us, we're better off picking a commitment, like for me, increasing water, and getting that one down pat. Then picking another commitment, seeing if you can maintain the first commitment. Sometimes we add too much and the whole house of cards comes down. Start again. Start again. That is our theme for 2025, perhaps. Start again. Start again. Just keep going. Just keep going. So, have an awesome day. Think about commitments. Honor your commitments. If you've had some that you've broken, make amends. Apologize. Indicate that you will redouble your efforts and go at it again. Look to see what led to you breaking that in the first place. Does something need to be changed? Be experimental about this stuff. Be curious. This doesn't have to be anything about beating ourselves up that we've failed. No, as Mary Kay Ash said, we fail forward to success. Learn, tweak, go. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.